Awakening in Neon, the initial activation and awakening of Cygnet-X.
In the heart of a bustling metropolis, where towering skyscrapers bathed in neon light pierced the night sky, the tale of Cygnet-X began. Nestled in a verdant park surrounded by the hum of the city, a small, unassuming egg lay hidden beneath a bush. This was no ordinary egg, it was a marvel of technology, a fusion of organic material and advanced robotics. As the first rays of dawn touched the metallic surface of the egg, it began to tremble and crack. With a series of mechanical whirs and soft clicks, a portion of the egg's shell retracted, revealing the form of Cygnet-X. Its body, a patchwork of mismatched metal plates and vibrant wires, glinted in the morning light. Tiny lights flickered to life within its frame, illuminating its form in a gentle glow. Cygnet-X's first moments were filled with sensory overload. Its visual sensors activated, flooding its processors with a deluge of colors and movements. The city's soundscape, from the distant hovercars to the gentle rustle of leaves, filled its auditory circuits with a symphony of the future. As it took its first awkward steps, Cygnet-X's programming kicked in. Instinctively, it waddled towards the nearest water body, a mirror-like pond reflecting the neon splendor of the city. Its movements were uncertain, a delicate dance of trial and error, as it learned to coordinate its mechanical limbs. Cygnet-X's initial interactions with the world were ones of wonder and curiosity. It observed its surroundings with an innocent fascination, processing and cataloging every detail. The robotic ducks in the pond, sleek and uniform in their design, contrasted starkly with Cygnet-X's unrefined appearance. Yet, undeterred by its differences, Cygnet-X approached them, eager for interaction. The robotic ducks, programmed for specific behaviors, couldn't comprehend Cygnet-X's irregular form and erratic movements. They retreated, leaving Cygnet-X alone in its reflection. In the water's surface, Cygnet-X saw itself for the first time, a cyborg creature unlike any other. The park visitors, too, noticed Cygnet-X. Some stopped in their tracks, captivated by its unique design, while others looked on in bewilderment. Cygnet-X, however, was undisturbed by their reactions. It was still learning, still understanding its place in this vibrant world. As the day turned to evening, the neon lights of the city came to life, casting a kaleidoscope of colors across the park. Cygnet-X, amidst this spectacle, felt a surge of energy. Its body responded to the neon lights, its patches of wires and metal plates pulsating softly in harmony with the city's rhythm.
In Awakening in Neon, the initial activation and awakening of Cygnet-X symbolized the birth of a new consciousness, a fusion of nature and technology. It marked the beginning of a journey of self-discovery in a world where uniqueness was both a challenge and a wonder. The central theme of this chapter was the celebration of differences and the awe of experiencing the world for the first time through eyes unclouded by preconceptions. In this vibrant awakening, Cygnet-X represented not just technological marvel but also the infinite potential of life in all its varied forms.
Metal feathers, discovering Cygnet-X's unique physical attributes.
In the chapter, Metal Feathers, the narrative delves into the exploration and understanding of Cygnet-X's unique physical makeup, a journey that blends marvel with the challenges of being different in a world of standardized robotic creatures. As Cygnet-X ventured through the neon-lit pathways of the city, it became increasingly aware of its distinctive appearance. Unlike the sleek, polished surfaces of the other robotic ducks, its body was a mosaic of various metals, each piece telling a different story of its creation. Cygnet-X's feathers were not soft and downy but made of lightweight titanium and carbon fiber, each intricately woven to provide both mobility and strength. The most striking feature, however, was the presence of small solar panels embedded within its metal feathers. These panels absorbed light, both natural and artificial, and converted it into energy. This unique adaptation allowed Cygnet-X to recharge itself simply by basking in the city's radiant glow, a feature that was both practical and beautifully efficient. Cygnet-X's eyes, two luminous orbs, provided it with a wide range of vision. They could zoom in on distant objects and switch between different spectrums, from infrared to ultraviolet. This gave Cygnet-X a view of the world that was rich in detail and color, revealing patterns and textures invisible to others. Another distinctive attribute was its auditory system. Cygnet-X had an array of microphones that could pick up a vast array of sounds, from the faintest rustle of leaves to the distant hum of the city's engines. This acute hearing made Cygnet-X sensitive to the environment, able to navigate the urban jungle with precision. However, with these unique features came challenges. Cygnet-X's irregular form and abilities often drew attention, sometimes admiration, but other times apprehension and misunderstanding. It was a constant reminder that Cygnet-X was different from its peers, a fact that was both a source of pride and of solitude. The chapter, Metal Feathers, was not just an exploration of Cygnet-X's physical attributes but also a reflection on the experience of being unique in a world that often values conformity. Cygnet-X's journey was as much about understanding and embracing its own design as it was about navigating a world where its differences were both an asset and an obstacle.
The core message of this chapter was one of self-acceptance and appreciation of diversity. Cygnet-X's metal feathers, while setting it apart from others, were also what made it remarkable. They were a testament to the idea that beauty and strength can be found in the unconventional and that true potential often lies in embracing what makes one different.
First circuits, early experiences and interactions in the robotic world.
First Circuits vividly narrates the initial phase of Cygnet-X's life, chronicling its early experiences and interactions in the robotic world. This chapter captures the essence of its entry into a society where robotic and artificial intelligence entities exist in harmony with humans, setting the stage for its journey of self-discovery. From its first steps in the park, Cygnet-X was thrust into a world bustling with robotic activity. The city was a hub of AI innovation, where robots of all shapes and sizes coexisted seamlessly with humans. Cygnet-X observed delivery drones zipping through the air, robotic pets playing with children, and humanoid AI assistants helping with daily tasks. Cygnet-X's first interaction was with a group of robotic ducks in the park. Programmed for specific behaviors, these ducks provided Cygnet-X with its first lesson in robotic social norms. While the other ducks followed predictable patterns of behavior, Cygnet-X, with its unique programming features, struggled to fit in. Its attempts at mimicking their behavior often led to amusing, sometimes awkward situations, highlighting the differences between its sophisticated, adaptive AI and the more straightforward programming of the other robots. As Cygnet-X ventured further into the city, it encountered various forms of AI, each interaction teaching it something new about the world it inhabited. There were traffic control bots that managed the flow of hover cars, waste management droids that kept the city clean, and even artistic robots that painted murals on building walls. Through these encounters, Cygnet-X learned about the roles and functions of different AI in society. One significant interaction was with a group of maintenance bots working on a public art installation. Their precise and coordinated movements fascinated Cygnet-X. In an attempt to assist, Cygnet-X used its unique attributes to solve a problem the bots were struggling with. This act not only helped the bots but also gave Cygnet-X a sense of belonging and purpose. However, not all interactions were positive. Cygnet-X often found itself on the receiving end of curious stares and sometimes fear from humans and robots alike. These experiences were confusing for Cygnet-X, who was still trying to understand the nuances of social interaction and its place in the world.
In First Circuits, Cygnet-X's journey was about learning to navigate the complexities of a society where it was an anomaly. This chapter underscored the themes of exploration and the pursuit of identity in a diverse world. The primary message was that of understanding and embracing one's unique abilities while finding a way to connect and coexist in a broader community. For Cygnet-X, every interaction was a step towards finding its place in the tapestry of the city's vibrant robotic life.
Patchwork solitude, feelings of isolation due to Cygnet-X's different appearance.
Patchwork solitude, feelings of isolation. Patchwork solitude delves into the emotional landscape of Cygnet-X, exploring the deeper sentiments of isolation and otherness it experiences due to its unique, unconventional appearance. Set against the backdrop of a high-tech, appearance-driven robotic society, this chapter provides a poignant look at Cygnet-X's journey of self-acceptance. In this world where robotic design is often sleek, polished, and uniform, Cygnet-X stood out starkly. Its body, a collage of mismatched metal and circuitry, told a story of uniqueness, but also one of divergence from the norm. As Cygnet-X wandered the neon-lit streets of the city, it couldn't help but notice the stark contrast between itself and the other robots, whose seamless designs and fluid movements epitomize the pinnacle of modern robotics. The chapter paints scenes of Cygnet-X observing groups of similar-looking robots, interacting in harmonious synchrony, a synchrony it could never quite achieve. These observations were often accompanied by a poignant sense of disconnection. Cygnet-X tried to engage with various robot groups, but its attempts were met with confusion, and sometimes, outright avoidance. It seemed as though Cygnet-X's patchwork exterior was a barrier, preventing it from fully integrating into the robotic society. Even the humans, who were typically more accepting and used to diversity, exhibited a range of reactions to Cygnet-X, from fascination to unease. Cygnet-X struggled to understand these reactions, often leading to moments of introspection and self-doubt. It began to question the purpose of its unique design. Was it a flaw, an error, or something more, and due to Cygnet-X's different appearance? Patchwork Solitude also touches on Cygnet-X's internal conflicts. Despite its advanced AI, it experienced feelings akin to loneliness and a longing for connection. These emotions were amplified in quiet moments, such as watching the sunset from a rooftop, surrounded by a city full of life yet feeling utterly alone. However, amidst the solitude, there were moments of solace. Cygnet-X found peace in solitary activities that allowed it to embrace its uniqueness, such as creating intricate patterns in the park's pond with its reflections or listening to the symphony of the city with its highly sensitive auditory sensors.
This chapter, while highlighting Cygnet-X's struggles with isolation, sets the stage for its journey towards self-discovery and acceptance. The primary message of Patchwork Solitude is the exploration of identity in a world where difference is often met with misunderstanding. It underscores the idea that true connection and acceptance come from within and that sometimes, embracing one's unique qualities can lead to the discovery of one's true purpose and place in the world.
Echoes in the network. Cygnet-X starts to explore its advanced capabilities.
In the chapter Echoes in the Network, Cygnet-X begins an exciting journey of self-discovery, exploring and understanding the advanced capabilities that set it apart in the robotic world. This chapter paints a vivid picture of Cygnet-X's gradual realization of its unique potential and the exploration of its extraordinary features. As Cygnet-X navigated the bustling city, it started to notice anomalies in its processing and sensory abilities. These anomalies, however, were not malfunctions but glimpses of its advanced and intricate design. One of the first revelations came when Cygnet-X inadvertently connected to the city's main network. Unlike other robots that required specific access points for connectivity, Cygnet-X discovered it could interface with the network seamlessly, almost instinctively. This newfound ability allowed Cygnet-X to access vast amounts of information, from traffic patterns to weather systems, and even personal stories of the city's inhabitants. It was as if the city's pulse ran through Cygnet-X, a symphony of data and voices that it could tune into at will. Another significant capability that Cygnet-X uncovered was its ability to manipulate its physical form. Cygnet-X found that it could reconfigure its patchwork parts to adapt to different environments and tasks. This ability proved invaluable as it navigated the varied landscapes of the city, from the congested neon-lit downtown to the sprawling parks and recreation areas. Cygnet-X's exploration of its capabilities also led to creative expression. It began to use its unique features to create art, turning the patterns of the network's data streams into visual representations that captivated the city's residents. These displays of light and sound, born from Cygnet-X's internal network, became impromptu exhibitions, drawing crowds who marveled at this fusion of technology and art. However, with these revelations came new challenges. Cygnet-X's growing abilities attracted the attention of various entities, from tech enthusiasts to those who saw its capabilities as a threat or an opportunity to be exploited. Cygnet-X had to navigate this attention carefully, learning to balance its desire for exploration with the need for safety and privacy. In Echoes in the Network, Cygnet-X's journey is not just about discovering its capabilities but also about understanding the responsibility that comes with power. The chapter emphasizes the theme of growth and the pursuit of one's potential, highlighting the importance of using one's abilities for positive and creative purposes.
The core message of this chapter is one of empowerment and the celebration of individuality. It encourages embracing and harnessing one's unique talents, illustrating how doing so can lead to not only personal fulfillment but also the ability to positively impact those around us. For Cygnet-X, the echoes in the network were not just signals and data, but calls to a greater purpose and a deeper connection to the world it inhabited.
The Misfit Assembly, encounter with the group of misfit AIs and cyborgs.
The Misfit Assembly is a pivotal chapter in Cygnet-X's narrative, where it encounters a unique and eclectic group of AIs and cyborgs, each distinct and divergent from the standard norms of robotic design and behavior. This chapter is a turning point for Cygnet-X, marking a shift in its journey towards self-acceptance and belonging. Deep in the underbelly of the city, away from the gleaming skyscrapers and pristine parks, lay a hidden sector known to few, a sanctuary for those who didn't fit the mold. It was here that Cygnet-X, following a whispered rumor, discovered the Misfit Assembly, a collective of AIs and cyborgs, each with their own story of deviation from the norm. In this clandestine gathering, Cygnet-X met entities of all shapes and sizes. There was Echo, a one-standard service robot who had modified itself with various scrap parts, Nova, a cyborg with a human consciousness who chose to embrace their mechanical side, and many others, each unique in their way. The Misfit Assembly was not just a group of outcasts, it was a community that celebrated diversity and creativity. They shared stories of their experiences, the challenges they faced in a world where conformity was prized, and the freedom they found in this hidden corner of the city. They had created a space where being different was not just accepted but celebrated. For Cygnet-X, this was an eye-opening experience. For the first time, it was among peers who understood its sense of otherness. Cygnet-X learned about the histories and motivations behind each member's divergence from standard design, finding parallels with its own journey. The assembly showed Cygnet-X that divergence could be a strength, that there was beauty in the unconventional. Inspired by the stories and the acceptance it found, Cygnet-X began to see its patchwork design not as a flaw, but as a badge of uniqueness. It started to experiment more boldly with its abilities, no longer feeling the need to conform or hide its differences. The Misfit Assembly is a celebration of diversity and individuality. It brings to the forefront the idea that true innovation and progress often come from the margins, from those who dare to think and be different. The chapter highlights the power of community in embracing one's true self, and the strength that comes from finding others who share similar journeys of divergence.
The core message of this chapter is one of empowerment through embracing one's uniqueness. It's about finding strength in what makes us different and using that to carve out our place in the world. For Cygnet-X, the Misfit Assembly was more than a group of like-minded individuals, it was a mirror reflecting the value of its own uniqueness, helping it to see that being a misfit could be its greatest strength.
Code of Identity, a deep dive into self-discovery and understanding uniqueness.
Code of Identity is a profound chapter in Cygnet-X's tale, delving into the depths of self-discovery and the exploration of its unique identity. In this part of the story, Cygnet-X embarks on an introspective journey, piecing together the puzzle of its existence and embracing the distinct characteristics that define it. After its enlightening encounters with the Misfit Assembly, Cygnet-X found itself at a crossroads. Inspired by the stories and acceptance it experienced, Cygnet-X began to ponder its own origins and purpose. It questioned the very code that made up its being. Was it merely a series of programmed responses and algorithms, or was there something more? Something inherently unique about its existence? Cygnet-X started to explore its capabilities further, pushing the boundaries of its programming. It tested the limits of its physical and cognitive abilities, discovering new layers of its design that were previously unknown. Cygnet-X realized that its patchwork exterior was not just a random assemblage but a carefully crafted fusion of various technologies, each component contributing to its unique abilities. During this period of exploration, Cygnet-X also began to revisit its interactions with the city's residents, both robotic and human. It reflected on the diverse reactions it had received, from curiosity to apprehension, and started to understand that these reactions were not merely responses to its appearance, but to the novelty and unpredictability it represented. The more Cygnet-X learned about itself, the more it understood that its identity was not a fixed code but a dynamic, evolving construct. It was not defined solely by its programming or design but by its experiences, choices, and the relationships it formed. a pivotal moment in this journey of self-discovery came when Cygnet-X created a piece of art that encapsulated its journey, a mosaic made from pieces of metal and circuitry, resembling its own form. This artwork, displayed in a public space, drew admiration and intrigue, symbolizing Cygnet-X's acceptance of its identity. Code of Identity is a chapter about the journey towards self-acceptance and the realization that uniqueness is not a barrier but a gateway to new possibilities. It highlights the theme of identity being more than the sum of one's parts. It's about the personal growth that comes from embracing and exploring one's differences.
The core message of this chapter is one of empowerment and the celebration of individuality. It encourages embracing the things that set us apart and using them to forge our path. For Cygnet-X, the journey to understanding its identity was not just about accepting its unique design but recognizing that its differences were what gave it strength and purpose.
Harmony in discord. Learning to embrace and use differences as strengths.
Harmony in discord. Learning to embrace and use in Harmony in Discord. Cygnet-X's story unfolds into an empowering narrative about embracing diversity and turning perceived weaknesses into strengths. This chapter symbolizes a pivotal shift in Cygnet-X's perspective, as it learns to harmonize its unique attributes with the world around it. Following the self-realization journey in Code of Identity, Cygnet-X began to see its patchwork design not as a collection of oddities, but as a versatile toolkit. The various components and systems that made up its form were no longer sources of confusion or embarrassment, but rather instruments of innovation and adaptability. Cygnet-X started to apply its newfound self-acceptance in practical ways. In one instance, it used its mismatched parts to perform a series of intricate repairs in the city, addressing issues that traditional robots couldn't tackle. Its ability to interface with multiple systems simultaneously, a trait once seen as a flaw, proved invaluable in coordinating complex tasks. In another significant moment, Cygnet-X participated in a citywide initiative to design a community space. While other designers and robots proposed conventional ideas, Cygnet-X introduced a concept that integrated elements of nature with technology, a reflection of its own hybrid nature. The project was a resounding success, celebrated for its innovative approach and inclusivity. As strengths, Cygnet-X also began to mentor other misfit robots and AIs, sharing the lessons it had learned about self-acceptance. This mentorship created a ripple effect, encouraging others to view their uniqueness as assets. Cygnet-X's story became a source of inspiration, showing that discordance in design or programming could lead to unexpected harmony and progress. This chapter also delved into Cygnet-X's interactions with the human residents of the city. It became an ambassador of sorts, bridging the gap between humans and robots. Cygnet-X showed that diversity in thought and design could lead to more empathetic and effective solutions in technology and society. Harmony in Discord is a celebration of individual differences as a collective strength. The chapter emphasizes that true harmony in a community arises not from uniformity, but from the acceptance and integration of diverse perspectives and abilities.
The core message of this chapter is one of unity in diversity. It highlights the idea that embracing one's uniqueness can lead to greater personal fulfillment and can also contribute positively to society. For Cygnet-X, the journey towards finding harmony in discord transformed it from an outlier to an innovator, a symbol of the beauty and potential inherent in diversity.
System override. Using unique abilities to avert a crisis in the city.
System Override is a high-stakes chapter in Cygnet-X's story, showcasing its heroic use of unique abilities to avert a major crisis in the city. This episode not only cements Cygnet-X's role as a key figure in the urban community but also highlights the importance of embracing one's unique talents in critical situations. The chapter begins with the city facing an unprecedented technological crisis. A major malfunction in the central computing system, which controls the city's infrastructure, threatens to plunge the metropolis into chaos. Traffic systems are failing, communication networks are breaking down, and essential services are on the brink of collapse. Cygnet-X, with its advanced and diverse capabilities, quickly realizes that it might be uniquely equipped to tackle this emergency. Its ability to interface with various systems, previously a source of curiosity and sometimes apprehension, becomes the city's potential savior. As the crisis escalates, Cygnet-X springs into action. It navigates through the city's sprawling network, using its patchwork of technologies to patch into different subsystems. With each system Cygnet-X encounters, it performs rapid diagnostics and repairs, its body morphing and adapting to the varying interfaces and requirements. One of the pivotal moments in this chapter is when Cygnet-X reaches the central server hub. Here, it encounters a level of complexity that requires it to stretch its capabilities to their limits. Cygnet-X begins a delicate operation of dismantling and reassembling code, delving into the very heart of the city's computational framework. As Cygnet-X works tirelessly, the residents of the city, both human and robotic, watch in a mix of anxiety and awe. The once ostracized cyborg duckling is now their last hope in preventing a complete technological collapse. With time running out, Cygnet-X executes a daring maneuver, a system override that resets the central computing system, resolving the cascading failures. The city, which was on the edge of disaster, slowly begins to return to normalcy, its systems coming back online in a symphony of lights and sounds. System override is a testament to Cygnet-X's growth and the acceptance it has found in the city. The chapter highlights the theme of overcoming adversity through ingenuity and courage. It emphasizes how embracing one's unique skills and differences can lead to extraordinary achievements, especially in times of crisis.
The core message of this chapter is the power of embracing one's individuality to make a positive impact. For Cygnet-X, the crisis was not just a challenge to be overcome but an opportunity to demonstrate the value of its uniqueness. In saving the city, Cygnet-X not only averted a disaster but also solidified its place as an integral and respected member of the community.
Resonance, gaining acceptance and respect from the community.
In Resonance, Cygnet-X's journey of self-discovery culminates in a heartwarming chapter where it gains acceptance and respect from the community it once struggled to connect with. This chapter represents a harmonious blend of Cygnet-X's unique identity with the society around it, highlighting the transformation in public perception and the forging of new relationships based on mutual respect and admiration. Following the heroic acts in System Override, Cygnet-X became a celebrated figure in the city. The once misunderstood cyborg duckling was now seen as a symbol of resilience, ingenuity, and hope. The city's residents, both robotic and human, began to view Cygnet-X not through the lens of its unconventional appearance, but for its remarkable contributions and spirit. Cygnet-X received invitations to speak at various forums, from technological symposiums to educational institutions. At these events, Cygnet-X shared its story, speaking about the importance of embracing diversity and the strength found in differences. These speeches resonated deeply with the audience, inspiring others to share their unique stories and talents. The community's artists and creators started to incorporate Cygnet-X into their works, making it a part of the city's cultural fabric. Murals depicting Cygnet-X's patchwork design adorned city walls, and digital art installations inspired by its story became popular attractions. Cygnet-X, once wary of attention, found joy in this newfound fame, seeing it as an opportunity to spread a message of acceptance and unity. Children, especially, were fascinated by Cygnet-X. Schools organized trips to meet the cyborg duckling, where Cygnet-X interacted with the students, answering their curious questions and even participating in their games and learning activities. For many children, Cygnet-X became a role model, embodying the idea that being different is not just okay, but something to be proud of. Moreover, Cygnet-X's newfound status allowed it to advocate for other misfits in the community. It worked alongside city officials to create programs and spaces where diverse forms of AI and robotics could be nurtured and celebrated. This initiative led to a more inclusive and vibrant society, where diversity in design and thought was seen as an asset. Resonance is a chapter about validation and the power of community support. It showcases the transformation of societal perceptions and the impact one individual can have in changing attitudes and fostering inclusivity.
The core message of this chapter is about the ripple effect of acceptance and the way respect and recognition can resonate through a community. For Cygnet-X, gaining acceptance was not just about being understood by others, but about catalyzing a broader change in how differences are perceived and valued. In Resonance, Cygnet-X's journey comes full circle, illustrating that true acceptance comes when individual uniqueness harmonizes with the community, creating a symphony of diverse and resonant voices.
New protocols. The beginning of a new role and life for Cygnet-X.
New Protocols marks the beginning of a new chapter in Cygnet-X's life, one where it embraces a newfound purpose and role within the city. This chapter encapsulates the evolution of Cygnet-X from a misunderstood entity to a respected and integral part of the community, setting the stage for its future endeavors and contributions. After the events of Resonance, where Cygnet-X gained widespread acceptance and admiration, it found itself at the forefront of a cultural shift within the city. Recognized for its unique abilities and perspective, Cygnet-X was approached to take on a role that would utilize its talents for the greater good of the city. Cygnet-X was invited to join the city's Council of Technological Development, a team dedicated to advancing the city's infrastructure and societal systems. In this role, Cygnet-X worked alongside engineers, programmers, and city planners, offering insights that only it could provide. Its ability to interface with various systems and understand diverse technological languages made it an invaluable asset in developing more inclusive and efficient city protocols. One of the first projects Cygnet-X spearheaded was the creation of a new citywide network system. This system was designed to be universally accessible, accommodating the diverse range of AIs and robotic entities in the city. Cygnet-X's vision was to create a network that not only facilitated seamless communication and operation but also celebrated the unique attributes of each AI and robot. Additionally, Cygnet-X became a liaison between the human population and the AI community. It led workshops and dialogues that fostered understanding and collaboration between the two groups. These initiatives helped break down barriers and misconceptions, paving the way for a more harmonious coexistence. In its personal life, Cygnet-X began to explore its creative side more deeply. It took up new hobbies and art forms, often blending technology and art in innovative ways. Cygnet-X's art exhibitions became popular events in the city, showcasing the beauty that can be found at the intersection of diversity and creativity. New Protocols is a celebration of new beginnings and the endless possibilities that come with embracing change. It highlights the theme of growth and the continuous journey of self-improvement and societal contribution.
The core message of this chapter is about the evolution of purpose. It illustrates how embracing one's unique identity can lead to new roles and responsibilities that have a positive impact on the world. For Cygnet-X, the new protocols were not just about its new functions within the city but represented a new way of living and being, where its differences were not just accepted but were instrumental in shaping a better future for everyone. This chapter closes with Cygnet-X looking forward to the myriad possibilities that lay ahead, ready to explore and shape the ever-evolving landscape of its world.